Welcome to the DGD podcast. As always, Robert Reynolds, Kobe Pierce rocking some sort of odd, strange hat for some reason. Keon and Juan. Juan has come off of his trip to Hawaii, and he is back in the confines of the DGD podcast. So, welcome, guys. How's everyone doing tonight, man?
Fantastic. It's college football is here. Every weekend every week is a great week.
I mean, Juan, you've got high school football, you've got college football to watch. You know, you're on Juan Watch, by the way.
Little league football. I mean, I'm all footballed out.
You know what, though? So, Project Pat down here saying Bowers needs 74 yards. He's calling it Juan Watch, by the way.
Yeah,
so
he'll get that this week.
Oh, save it, Juan. We're gonna make a little.
He'll probably get that on the first drive.
Damn.
It would feel better that way, Juan. Just one deep pass to him, 75 yards.
Rip the Band-Aid off, man. Just let it happen.
Welcome to number 11.
Yeah.
Anyways, I see JOGG is in the building and saying that that hat looks great. How does it make you feel to be Oscar the Grouch wearing trash can lid on your head?
There it is.
Yeah.
They beat Florida. How bad can it really feel? You know what I mean? Like,
ask D'Angelo.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Obviously wasn't on Monday. Utah came out threw a backbreaker first play, and I knew from the moment they hit the play action pass deep, I was like, you can pack up, send them home right now.
Yeah.
Pat fact, Juan is still the GOAT. Utah is still trash.
Yeah.
Both accurate. Accurate.
Just because you beat garbage doesn't make you not trash.
I will let you know right now. The best part about it was they were without Cam Rising, and I think their backups. So they were like third, fourth string quarterbacks driving down the field. Oh man, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Anyways, guys, so nice to have y'all back on. Monday, me and Keon here discuss the game Saturday. So I want to get y'all's thoughts on the game. What were y'all's thoughts on the UT Martin game before we decide to move our eyes and sights onto Ball State?
I was happy, Kobe can tell you anytime that you're playing a game and there's no injuries, you get out of there with any injuries, people are getting some playing time. I'm good with it. I mean, they're about as vanilla as can be. I'm 100% okay with it. You have a lot of people that are, we're struggling or whatever. Get out of here. Those are most likely the people that never ever played.
We need Brock. Brock should be starting.
Yeah. Put somebody else in and Popo this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with Juan. Very similar tune. Um, it's a game one. Like I talked about, the previous 2 years you're spoiled because you play Clemson, you play Oregon, you play games that like you have to show your hand week one. You have to show what you got. What do you have on offense? What wrinkles do you have? What blitzes do you have on defense? They had a good quarterback too. I mean, guy that played at Ole Miss for a while. He was mobile, moved the pocket a good bit, ran well. We gave up some rushing yards. I guess my thing is, like Juan said, he came out, nobody's injured. That's huge. He still scored 48 points, also very big. I feel like I can agree with all fans. If there's one gripe I have, it's the misused run on first and goal right before the half. But I mean, Kirby addressed that Monday in his press conference. He said that's something as coaches because we got to do a better job getting the call in. We have to get Carson to do a better job getting us into a good play. Like that's something we pride ourselves in. That's something we got to fix. That's something that's not going to happen again. I guess
Yeah,
when
no
bullets
doubt.
are flying for the first time since January, there are going to be a couple hiccups. I'll take 48-7 being our hiccup over losing to Utah.
Yeah, I think another thing though, that 7 points, right? That touchdown catch, man, that was a questionable review to me. But neither here nor there. You give up a touchdown late in the game. I'm not too worried about it. Guys, let's put that one to bed. Let's turn to the next chapter and let's put our sights on Ball State, shall we? Obviously, noon kickoff this time. Kirby's favorite. Can't complain, I guess. Um, first things first, right? Ball State. I think they played. They played Kentucky. No,
Yeah, Kentucky. They
Kentucky. It
played
was.
Kentucky and got thumped.
So
40
obviously they
14.
played Kentucky, and it wasn't the prettiest. This is a team that right. This is another inferior opponent, guys. This is also the replacement for a trip to Norman. Might I add? All right, can't go without stating that. And after Oklahoma's impressive uh, victory over Arkansas State, making Butch Jones cry. How fun would that be talking about a trip to Norman this week? But the powers that be decided to say no.
I could tell you how much that actually aggravated me as a
You would you
person
would
that's
you would have a Whataburger and
oh
take your trip. Yeah,
fam, they got Whataburger there. I mean, I was so mad to see that be canceled as a person that lives in the DFW area, taking a 2-hour trip versus 13. Oh man. Man.
yeah. Obviously, uh, SEC decided to scrap that, so we have Ball State now. Oklahoma got SMU though. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see us play SMU for once. That'd be wild. I don't think we've ever done that. If we have, it's been a very, very long time. But anyway, Ball State. I feel like this is somewhat of another mismatch for Georgia, right? But this is also an opportunity to fix the things that we saw week one, right? This is a second matchup, so you have game tape. You saw your deficiencies, you saw your strengths, things like that. Also, we've got some guys that could be coming back from injury potentially, and I think this is just another matchup to just tune up. I mean, for short words there, just tune up game, if you will. Um,
Short words. Fall scrimmage 4.
there you go. There you go.
Yep.
I mean, what are y'all looking forward to seeing? Right, like if you had one thing to choose from, what are you looking forward to the most in regards to what to expect Saturday?
I mean, for me, I would just say getting out of it injury free. You're not going to find a whole lot about your team playing a Ball State. I mean, you're just not. You're not going to get any additional quarterback, flashes of brilliance. For me, you're going to be, you'll see who you are when you're pressure tested. When we play a South Carolina, when we play a Tennessee, that's who we're going to see who we are. But against these, these scrub teams, you can give some people some playing time and some experience. But outside of that, I just want them to get, come out of this injury free.
One, you said South Carolina. I'm not buying that shit either after week one. But that's just me. I digress.
Yeah, but I'm with Juan. I guess like player for player, just a little bit more, competitive across the board. And I'm with Juan. Keeping it healthy, always a big thing. O-line to redeem themselves in the run blocking way, yes, but also you also heard their coach talk about on his post game presser. He goes, the one thing we were not going to let them do was run the ball. He goes, we were blitzing, we were stacking boxes. He goes, we were trying to do anything we possibly could to make it hard on them to run the ball game one. And they did a really good job. And I guess when you have a team like that that's willing to take that away from you, game one, live bullets firing for the first time in a long time, it can make things kind of difficult.
Yeah, you brought up that right there, and I think that's another thing. Rudes mentioned the O-line to redeem themselves, right? Started off, if you watch the run game, right, it was hard to move. Like, they didn't get no movement, and that's something that we're not used to seeing, especially with the expectations from the preseason. I was thinking, hey, we're, at least get some push, things like that. I'm not necessarily worried about our pass protection, even with two new tackles, if you will. Obviously, Mims got a lot of reps last year, but with Ernest Green, right, at left tackle, I think that's going to be interesting to see, right, as the season comes along, right. You want to make sure that when you do see some teams, and you're going to see some teams with better defensive line and things like that, how he handles that. But I want to see that be consistent, right? I want to see the offensive line play get better in the run game, move piles, things like that. But at the same time, I do want to sustain that pass block because that pass protection was crispy all night.
True that.
Keon, what do you think?
Honestly, just making it out healthy, really just getting the young guys some burn. I'd like to see Roderick again. My guy, Makai Muse, something again.
AKA Mighty Mouse from now on, apparently. Project Pat says Mighty Mouse.
Shout outs to Mighty Mouse. Love to see these guys go out there and make some plays, get accustomed, and really just go throughout the rotation, honestly. Mostly just staying healthy is the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing.
I do. To add on to that, though, too, I know obviously staying injury-free is the way to go there. I just think another thing, I just want to see some more execution, right? I don't expect to open up the playbook, right? Just not going to expect that. But I do just want to see these guys. I want to see Carson Beck continue to stay in the pocket, continue to get better at going through his progressions and reads, and fix the mistakes, what we saw last week, where you can hit the guys in stride, right? I think if you look back, the Dominic Lovett slant route was the one that really stood out to me. Make sure if you've got the time, go for it, right? Make sure you hit your passes. Go, like I said, just progressions, command the offense again, and just kind of evaluate the performance from there. Listen, for a first start to go for 294, I think it was, 21 for 31, 294, one tutty, and a rushing touchdown too. It's not terrible, right? If you're the one thing you might complain about is a lack of touchdown passes, but if that's all you're complaining about, that's a first world problem. Just gonna leave that there. But I think that's something else that I would want to kind of see get into that situation and get just kind of evolve the offense and get more comfortable. Because for what it's worth, week 3 you got South Carolina. Y'all know this. Kirby's gonna, I wouldn't say open the bag, but he's gonna put a statement out. For some reason, he just hates Shane Beamer, and I'm okay with that. I'm just okay with that. So I think I just want to get that stuff situated and go from there. But yeah, I think in regards to the Ball State game, staying healthy is the first priority, right? Get the guys back healthy. I think Ladd and Dejan might get some run too this week. Not obviously a ton, but I think doing that right there, that's a good sign for Georgia moving forward too. Hell, maybe you never know. Ladd might catch a nice touchdown pass or something. Get a few yards, get closer to Juan's top 10 spot.
Well, it's one of those things too that none of us are going to know. Nobody's going to know. I don't care who you're subscribed to, who you listen to, any of that. When Smile Munden jogged out on the field late in that game on Saturday, I was befuddled what he was doing out there, because everything you have heard has been he's weeks away, he's 4 weeks away, he's Don't expect him back till Auburn. And there he went out there and ran a couple plays on defense. And back to the sideline he came.
Yeah,
So
even Milton, though, even Milton wanted to get out there and get a few runs. I think he got like 9 carries or something like that.
He did. But I'm just saying, I guess the difference is like Milton early in the week, people were reporting was expected to play. I mean, Smile was still expected to be like 4 or 5 weeks away from playing. So I just guess like you're saying with Ladd and Dejon, like just because Kirby says they're in a black jersey at practice on Tuesday doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to jog out 5 offensive plays.
Yeah. For those listening, I just saw this comment. I have to bring this up. We have our special guest, Rudes, in the chat. I see Kobe over here showing some support for our guy. Didn't even need him out there to beat Florida, by the way, might I add. So just gonna leave that there, but I digress. Just gonna keep that there. But yeah, showing support for Rudes there in the chat there. Just got to do that. But no, I think obviously we kind of have what we want to expect. But let's talk keys to victory, right? What does I'm glad you take that off, by the way. Thank you. I'm better now. I'm not confused and baffled anymore. So we're good. Thank you. I'll take the master's hat now. But keys to victory. Juan, what is your key to victory for this game?
Just showing up to the game. I mean, this is one of the ones that, we always used to hear this thing is, you know what, you can't go out there and just roll your helmet on the field and expect to win. This is a situation where they can just go out there and roll their helmets on the field and expect to win. Ball State is coming off of a beatdown by Kentucky. Kentucky's not going to be very good this year, and they just got absolutely beat down. They are, in the bottom of almost every statistical category. They're not going to be able to score on us. I just don't see that happening. They have a pretty good receiver. They're going to try to get him the ball in space. He had about like 90 yards against Kentucky. I just don't see him doing a whole lot right there. A lot of pressure on the quarterback. It's going to be a beatdown.
Keon, what about you, sir?
I mean, we're just going to knock them loose, man. Honestly, I just think we're going to come out there firing on all cylinders. Like I said, just staying disciplined is honestly one of the biggest things. Need to see our corners come out and have a really strong game to minimize the players that they have on their wide receiving core, especially, buddy, you said that had 90 yards?
90 yards, yeah.
Yeah. We got to take him out the game. So we got to have him on clamp mode.
Definitely neutralizing what you're saying, right?
100%.
Georgia's good at that. So I don't feel lack of any confidence there by doing that. Kobe, what's your key to victory, sir?
Yeah, I looked it up just so we could get it. Devin Leary was 18 of 31 with 240 with a touchdown and a pick. They ran the ball. One guy basically ran the ball 14 times for 112 yards.
Was that Barry and Brown or no?
Ray Davis.
Oh, okay. Barry is receiver, right?
And they won 44-14. Ball State had 3 fumbles, 2 that they gave over. Their quarterback was 15 for 21 for 165 and 1 touchdown. I think that you're gonna run out there, like Juan said. You run out there, you don't turn the ball over 3 or 4 times, you're gonna be just fine. I mean, it's just one of those that sometimes the guys that you line up across from, they just don't even belong on the same field as you do. Yeah. And that's putting it in a nice way of like, I mean, they're all really good athletes for their conference, and they may even would be competitive at a Division I school, but there is just a level above in the top 5 schools in the country.
Man, I see a key to victory. Project Pat says, "Don't be Clemson." Facts. I think mine would, if I had to choose a key to victory, all we need to do is make sure that they don't call on Tyrone, because then you're screwed. But I don't 100%. See that happening. Don't see it happening. Dawgs dominate. Simple as that. Just execute. Right? Just be efficient on offense. Don't turn the ball over. Just don't shoot yourself in the foot. I mean, literally what Pat said there. Right? Just don't shoot yourself in the foot. Handle business. I think Kirby, in my opinion, probably tries to establish a run game, right? Even if it's Roderick or whoever, for that matter. I just feel that coming. That's just my thoughts. But yeah, I think you see. Right, I think we had some manufactured chaos here, but I think we see that a little bit here again. If you think about it, like the circumstances that was pushed on Georgia last week, I think you see some of the same things happening, just maybe altered a little bit, just to kind of create some chaos and keep people on their toes. If that's what you have to do to fight the complacency, then so be it. But again, just make sure you have that the phones off. That way they can't call on Tyrone, and you win this game. Because if you call them, shit can get ugly quick. Shit can get ugly. Right? I don't understand the power of Tyrone, man. Call him. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh my word. But yeah, no, I think he's the victory there. To me, it just makes sense, right? This is another one of these matchups, right? Don't fall asleep. Come out, right? Don't play down to the competition. That's something you don't want to see, I think. But yeah, Rue says he can't use his phone. I'm glad he's rejecting that. Just gonna leave that there. Guys, let's make our predictions. Y'all want to make some predictions?
Let's get it.
Before we do that, though, let's talk about some players to watch for. Who are you watching out for? We'll start with Kobe this time. We'll start out with Mr. Masters down there. What player are you watching out for this Saturday?
It's going to be a combo. Ernest Green, Xavier Truss. Both need to have significantly better days than they had last week. Both were pretty horrific in the run game as far as their run blocking went. Both were exceptional in their pass blocking game, but just both need to step it up a little bit. It hurt even worse because they're left guard and left tackle. So I think it made it even more noticeable when maybe they don't mess up on the same play, but maybe Truss messes up on this play, and maybe 2 plays later, then your left tackle's messing up, and then all of a sudden you're looking around going, why can't we block anybody on the left side? I think they have a big thing to prove because I think your center, your right guard, and your right tackle blocked fairly well across the board. So they're definitely who –
they weren't perfect, but they did a lot. What you're saying is they did significantly better overall. I mean,
I think the other 3 were closer to like 75 to 85 grades, and the other 2 I'm talking about are like around 55.
Cool. So, Matt, makes me wonder what Bloody Tuesday would look like this week. But no, so I see Dogman in the chat. Welcome. I don't think that's a name that I've seen in a while or ever. Welcome to the brigade. He says he wants to see the backups the entire second half. Ideally, that's the situation. Rude says let BVG play, kill him with his wheels and big accurate arm. And then Star Wars Dog says he'll have his eye on Pop Johnson. Keon, I'm gonna let you go next, sir. Who's the player you're watching out for?
I'll give you 2. It's gonna be from the same room. Andrew Paul, and I gotta say Roderick Robinson. I want to see those 2 guys really get a chance to really go out there and make some plays. Andrew getting back into the swing of things, and Roderick, young gun, young pup getting out there, getting exercise. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We get down, baby. We get down. But no, I think those are good calls. I mean, we didn't see the best run performance, right? And I think Kobe mentioned it first, right? The left side of the line could be a portion of this. I'm not saying it's everything, but getting a better offensive line production in regards to the run game opens up those run holes and everything like that for a better game. Juan.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of go with that same theme that Keon had. 2 people from the same room, and that's going to be Vandergriff, and then that's going to be Gunner. So, you heard earlier this week that Kirby said both of them are neck and neck. Well, now this is going to be an opportunity to let them have a true quarterback competition against, somebody else. Just kind of even playing field. take the third quarter, fourth quarter, just let them battle it out, so that everybody can see it. I'd love to see something like that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. If I had to do my two, I'm gonna go one offense, one defense. I want to see from a receiver perspective, right? I want to see Dominic Lovett, right? I want to see how he bounces back because there were a couple drops that he had, right? One wide open touchdown that got hit out of his hands, should have been a surefire touchdown. I want to see how he responds, right? We saw what he did at Missouri for what it's worth. But at the same time, I just want to see how he responds. I think he has the potential to be our guy, especially this week. I just want to see him get more comfortable, get that chemistry built up, get that rapport going with Carson. I think that's going to matter early on. Defense, man, there's a lot I want to go to. I want to see Humphrey. I want to see one of those, that cornerback too, because I want to say he started early. Didn't have a problem with coverage, anything like that. I just want to see them get more comfortable and see if he gets more reps at the CB2 spot. I think you look at another guy on defense, it's kind of a unit. I think the defensive line. I want to see that defensive line get more pressure. For what it's worth, I mean, we had a sack or two, I think it was. But one sack, okay. But yeah, so I want to see us get more pressure there. I think, especially looking ahead to week 3, there shouldn't be a reason why you shouldn't. I want to see you get after it. Whether that be Jordan Hall, whether that be right Logue, Stackhouse, Brinson, whoever. Right, I just want to see some pressure.
Big Jaw.
I mean, my man was wrecking shit too for the time he got into. I was happy to see that again. But
shout outs to the guy. Man.
Oh man, boy was hyped up. Can't be mad about that. Kobe said walk on power. Yeah, I think. Hey, can Mekhi Muse do some of the same? What about Cash Jones? I'd like to see Cash Jones get some more utilization out of the backfield, to be honest too. But I want to go back to this. What did you think about Mekhi Muse?
Man, I just tell you, you talk about packing a lot of power, and a little guy. He just wants it. He's one of those guys that you can just tell he wants to be a Georgia Bulldog. He's going to do any and everything to make the team better. I just love his energy. For him, it's like, size isn't nothing. Just give me the football and I'm going to make things happen. So it was awesome to see.
It was definitely nice to see that 54-yard tutty. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
The house mouse is for real. You know what, though? I want to see some special teams. Hey, Kobe, try telling you that Woodring was going to win that kicker battle, by the way.
I'm glad you were right. I'm glad I got him on my fantasy team.
Now that you're here, bring that ass here, boy. Tried to tell you. I understand your logic, though. I'm not going to be mad about that. I'm not going to put you on blast too much, but it does feel good to be right at one time. I'll take it for what it's worth. I'm not good at this shit, but when I'm right, I have to let it be known, But I'd like to see for what it's worth, the UT Martin punter was fucking good.
Oh,
yeah. He was good.
Booming. He was booming up
good. So I'd like to see Mekhi Muse in the return game. Mekhi Muse didn't mess up anything, didn't muff any punts or anything. Oh, Clemson. Oh, sorry. Duke. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, but in the spring game, Muse took back 2.
Yeah,
in the spring game, so he looked fantastic running the ball.
House call.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I feel like that stuff goes unnoticed until it happens to you, right? Because we saw it with Thorson against Tennessee, right? Like special teams matters. That dude didn't let off anything, and he pinned you back a lot. Like if you think about it, was it Carson and Brock? I think started within their own 10-yard line at least once.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd like to see some punt return game happen at some point. I'd like to see how it. I mean, listen, y'all seen it. Juan, you called it out at G-Day, right? Muse, he's a little shifty little fella.
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to see him be able to try to break one off because I think he can. Right. Like, no knock to anyone else. I just think that I'd love to see something like that happen. Before we get to our players of the game predictions. Oh boy. I mean, he's not wrong though. Star Wars Dawgs says that punter will be at a Power 5 school next year. Listen,
Agreed.
No,
You're
no,
probably
seriously.
right.
Seriously.
Real talk. If he doesn't already just go to the league.
All right. After the second punt, I was like, oh, shit. This guy, he does not want us to return anything.
Kick that damn thing to the bookstore.
Yeah, he said put that shit in a parking lot.
He said I heard the bridge is ticketed. Now we're gonna give some fan a lucky shot.
Yeah.
Kick it back up. Yeah. No, anyways, sorry about that. Any bold takes before we get to our predictions for the game in regards to player of the game predictions? Any bold takes, guys?
Big Jaw gets a sack. Big Jaw gets a sack.
Well, you just trying to make me all giddy, ain't you? That's what.
Yeah,
you're
a little bit. I'm telling you, if it happens, I'm a genius, and then if it doesn't, I'm gonna say, "Oh, I meant next week." See?
Look at this.
Never
Florida.
wrong.
You sound like a Florida fan trying to prolong their first win. Oh, we'll get it next week.
We got to talk about that. Jesus.
We'll give you a chance to air your grievances. Yeah, we'll have to do that a little bit. But I think if I had to make it, I think Andrew Paul gets his first touchdown.
There we go.
I think he gets his first touchdown. I mean, Roderick's was an easy walk-in, but I'd like to see. I think that can happen. Rude says Nazir Stackhouse gets significant playing time. I think doesn't he already, and they rotate in. So, I mean, I don't know what you consider significant playing time in a kind of game like this, but I think he gets some significant reps for sure. I just think they rotate, man. Like, I think that's what's going on until someone truly just steps the fuck out, like just breaks out. Here's a good question, guys. Star Wars Dog says over under 4 sacks. Over under. He said it at 4 specifically. So, over or under? Over 4. Over 4.
Yeah, over.
Keon, over or under?
Definitely over.
Okay. Kobe, over under?
Under until proven otherwise.
He broke my devil's advocate pick. I was going to say under just because if you notice how fast these guys get the ball out of their hands, you're going to see that all season. You just are. But again, when you have the safeties that Georgia has, this is why that shit matters, because we saw this last week where, Malachi Starks, Javon Buller, Tyke Smith all were meeting guys at the line of scrimmage, tackling them right there, right? You know how important, Juan, you know this, that's super important, getting your safeties meeting them there rather than 7 yards in the backfield or right down the field. That matters, right? So I just think, listen, that's the best safety trio, period, in the country. Don't question it. But no, I just think guys are getting the ball out of their hands, doing a lot more short passes, right? And that opens up more tackles for the safeties. If you really think about it, Malachi, Javon, Tyke, and Dan Jackson all led the team in tackles last week. So that tells you what you need to know. So I think I'm going on the under, and it's not in a bad way. I just think that people can't guard us, so they get the ball out of their hands and try to get into space. I think that's just what that boils down to. So I'm going under for now. Ask me this same question next week. We got to maybe have a different answer for you, because those motherfuckers can't block shit.
We are knocking Spencer Rattler's shit loose. I hope y'all are ready for it.
Tune in next Wednesday. It's going to be fun. But I saw another one. Hold on. There was a couple more guys. Dogman says the secondary will have 3 picks. How do y'all feel about that?
If they have 3 picks, 2 of them are house calls.
Speaking of house calls, Malachi has a pick 6. That's Rude's. Kentucky did have 3 last week, apparently. Kobe mentions there was 3 last week. So
3 pick 6s?
They were fumbles.
Oh, 3 turnovers.
Oh.
2 fumbles.
Jesus.
2 fumbles and a pick, I'm pretty sure was what it was last week. So
if you have 3 pick 6s, you might as well, anytime you drop back, just roll the ball. Honestly, that's about it. Jesus.
Guys, we went in over half an hour. We still ain't even talked about our first sponsor of the show, guys. You know who that is? That's Alumni Hall. It's Alumni Hall, folks. Check them out. Follow them on Twitter. or Instagram at Alumni Hall UGA. Located in Athens, about 10 minutes away from the stadium. Got your license Nike, Cutter and Buck, you name it. License apparel. New Air Maxes, they restocked them today. So if you need your Air Maxes, UGA Air Maxes, go get them. So those things have been selling out every time they put them in stock. Check them out. DGDpodcast.com. Drop down click the shop on the drop down. Go to Alumni Hall. Take you right there where you need to be. Or just scan the QR code if you're watching. Thanks to Alumni Hall for sponsoring the show.
Didn't those shoes like sell out in like 30 minutes last go around?
Yeah, no, they popped up in 30 minutes, so it's gone. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, absolutely. It was insane.
Let's go, Rudes. Yes, sir.
What is your Starks equals Jamal Adams?
No, he says his last prediction is my son balls out this week.
Oh, no, shit. After I saw what you did against Hawaii, I'd love to see that. Save it for later. We're going to talk about that. I think there might be something in there. It's a little in our predictions. Shh. Spoiler alert. Anyways, Star Wars Dog says if you started Discord for Georgia fans, you'd be interested in that. We'll talk about it. Hit us up offline, man. We'll talk about that. But anyways, guys.
Do we not have a Discord?
We do. It's on our. It's actually on DGDpodcast.com. We'll get you there situated though. Feel free also if you're watching or listening and you're interested in joining that, let us know. Shoot us an email. Just go to our website. You'll see it, guys. Should we do this? Should we let Keon and the gang, Rob and the gang, just air some grievances out because we were on here Monday, Keon. And we were getting live notifications about the Clemson and Duke game. So we weren't able to actually talk in real time, letting some folks know that their team is trash and they have to deal with that. So why don't we do a quick little piece, right? Why don't we do a little quick part 2 of your team is trash and you have to deal with that. Keon, you've been holding this shit in since Monday. You said there was some stuff, so I'm going to let you – I need to know why people are supposed to tune in right now. So for those that are watching, you promised some good shit. So I'm just going to shut up right now. What do you have to say?
All right. We're going to start with all of the things that I felt was wrong just within the first quarter. I'm not even going to do a breakdown of the whole game. We're just going to stick with the first quarter. The first 2-step drop, really? Your corner and your safety run into each other. Don't nobody see each other, so that's cool. You had a guy named Money Parks who cashed in on that ass immediately. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. He was running like he had shit to do. Like, it wasn't even like he was playing the game. He was just – if you remember being in college trying to make it in class right before the bell go off or like right before the time cut off, it was just like he was moving. Like it almost looked like he was sped up and everybody else was slowed down. That's how the gap was. Okay. Second, Florida. Now, look, I'm not going to tell y'all how to run y'all traditions. Y'all do that. How y'all do that. It's all garbage to me. You give this guy Graham Mertz a nickname as Murder Mertz. First off, he's Mr. Meter Mertz. And you gave him Tim Tebow's number? And y'all thought that was going to work? The only good thing I have to say about that game is that this kid is tough because he kept getting the shit knocked out of him. But he slid for the first down, face first, like Derek Jeter in the damn World Series, and gets his clock wrong. I mean, they hit the Control-Alt-Delete button at the back of his head. Boom, contact. Impact immediately. Florida. I watched Utah, a team that everybody, besides me, all up here picked and said this is going to be clear, easy. There's no other way to think about it. I tried not to be the biggest hater in the planet, right? Right? Try to give some hope. Y'all are trash.
Oh God, man! When will you learn to stop going with Gator garbage?
Man, I just, you know what? I've learned. I've been delivered. Okay, I'm a changed man.
We'll see.
Florida, your team is dog shit, and you have to deal with that. Oh my God.
Juan, welcome back to your first rendition of Your Team is Trash. Sir, is there a team that you would like to call out? And if so, who shall it be?
TCU. Like you're a runner-up in the national championship. You're at home, and you let Shedeur Sanders have a all-time record high against you at your home. Your team is absolute trash. I mean, they're just trash, and and that's not really a knock on Colorado, but come on, TCU, you had all that hype, and you're trying to redeem yourself, and this is what you do. And then to top that off, your last year's quarterback ended up getting cut in the NFL because he is trash. So,
God,
it's an extension of trash.
I mean, this dude came out there and played like fucking Tom Brady in 2011. Like, this shit is crazy.
Oof.
First game?
Yeah.
Well, damn. Kobe, which team do you want to call out?
I got some I got some beef with a team, and it's them damn Bears down in Baylor. My lock of the week on the podcast last week is them Baylor Bears with Dave Aranda going to take care of business. Texas State, one of the worst teams historically over the past 20 years. And they go into Baylor, and it's just a Bear beatdown, like 45-25, something crazy, not even close. Luckily, my upset of the week hit. Hallelujah. Otherwise, I wouldn't be hearing the end of it this week. But Baylor Bears, Dave Aranda, y'all look like y'all are in quite some trouble. And Dave Aranda, I would say your seat, good sir, is scorching hot after a home loss to Texas State week 1.
Ooh.
Was it unbearable?
I didn't watch most of it. It was that unbearable.
Yeah, I know one got that because he's smiling. He grinned a little bit.
Yeah,
he got it.
See what you did there.
Oh yeah, guys, I'll let y'all talk. Y'all's grievances, boy. We all gonna go around. We gonna pass the collection plate on this because God's NIL is about to get burned. Clemson, your team is trash, and you have to deal with that. What a performance, Riley Leonard. First off, Riley Leonard, what a performance. Duke wrecked shit on Clemson. All right. The bad part is I feel like an idiot because I sat here in the before the season started, and I made a hot take. Keon, I made a hot take.
Yeah, I remember it.
That I think they could beat them, and I think if they did, that they would go to the ACC championship game. But my dumb ass sat here and picked Clemson. For some reason, I picked Clemson. Just for some reason. I don't know why I did, but I did. You burned me. You could take your non-portal using ass and go on somewhere because your team is trash. And you have to deal with that. Your offense, it didn't look like a Garrett Riley offense. I know it's one game.
Who is Garrett Riley an extension of?
Oh, don't do it. Tell him. Let him know.
TCU.
Ooh.
Trash.
So, God's NIL lost to the Blue Devils. It's got to be sacrilegious somewhere. I don't know.
Welcome to Your Team is Trash, and you have to deal with that part 2. The only part 2 that you'll catch this season because, well, this is the only year that you'll have games played Thursday through Monday. So there is that.
They lost to a basketball powerhouse.
Hey, don't make me go get my Duke shit right now. Don't make me do it.
Please don't.
I ain't gonna do it.
Please don't.
I'll burn this motherfucker down.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Jesus.
I'm just saying. And Ruge brought this up here as well. He said O-line never showed up. Wide receivers dropped passes all over, and that defense went from top 10 to JV. The offense, they shot themselves in the foot over and over and over. And honestly, Coach K did probably claim credit for that, but so be it. But no, in all seriousness, so Mike Elko's turned that program around in a big way and fast. Listen, a lot of people probably don't even realize that they won 9 games last season, right? Went 9-4, bowl game win. The momentum, the culture of the Duke football program has changed immediately with Elko. And it would not surprise me after Monday's win that he's a hot commodity come anytime this season, more than likely in the off season after the season. But it wouldn't surprise me to see some bigger teams come calling. I'd like to see
Texas A&M.
Nah, they got Jimbo. Shit, they won. They won week 1, so things are good for now. We'll see. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, don't. Why did you say that? Why did you put that out there in the world?
He's been a goddamn devil advocate right now. That's what he's doing.
Why would you? That's like Florida, right? Like Florida, we don't want them to have anything nice.
You picked them.
We all make mistakes. That's the point here.
I mean, you picked Baylor.
If I'm playing devil's advocate, I'd rather see Elko down there than Glenn Schumann.
I don't see Schumann going down there. I see him.
They can have Elko. You know what? Maybe Elko is.
We can debate that all night. The next
Elko is the
SEC job that opens up, Glenn Schumann is gone.
Why is he saying all of this out loud? He's putting this in the world. Why are you doing this?
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you do it.
Right.
Guys, that was your team is trash, and you have to deal with that. But before we get to our pick'ems, guys, second sponsor of the night, Apotheos Coffee. Tell you right now, best coffee in the business. Classic City Collective Dark Roast gets me going every single morning. That's all you need. Best coffee in the business. No, literally the coffee of champions. Hit them up on Instagram at Apotheos Roastery or Twitter at Apotheos Coffee. Scan the QR if you're watching QR code, if you're watching this, or if you're listening, DGDpodcast.com. Click the shop drop down, go to Apotheos, and it'll send you their collection. Every single bag of coffee or K-cups that you purchase, 20% of the proceeds will be sent to the Classic City Collective because Apotheos is the official coffee and cold brew partner of the Classic City Collective. So do yourself a favor, get you some good damn coffee, and support the dogs as well. Thank you, Apotheos. Guys, pick 'em time. Y'all ready for this? Oh, man. All right, guys, here's what we did last week, right? Here's what we looked like last week. Oh, hold on, wait. What is this? What is this? Oh, man. All right, here were the results from last week. So, Florida, Utah. Again, Keon, you picked Utah. Everybody
I wish I did.
Utah. Yeah, you should have. You picked Florida. Everyone else picked Utah. We know who won that game. Clean slate for Louisville, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech lost in only the way Georgia Tech could lose. Colorado, TCU. We got made to look like fool. Thanks, TCU. The battle for Miami. We all picked the right one. Tennessee, Virginia. Picked the right one. Washington as well. The Brigade was the sole victor on the LSU versus Florida State. We all got wrong on Clemson, Duke, and South Carolina, North Carolina. Obviously got the right situation there. UT Martin. Georgia took that dub. Lock of the week. Kobe, you missed your lock of the week, so you technically lost 2 points. Stanford beat Hawaii. Ashton Daniels balled the fuck out. Shout out one. Ohio State won, obviously, even though it wasn't impressive. And Michigan won as well. Upset of the week. Connecticut did not beat NC State. ECU did not win against Michigan. Houston did upset, so Kobe washed. And San Jose State did not win. So to bring up the current points projection here, Brigade went 7-3 with a current 13-4 season to date. Keon went 5-5 at the bottom, 10-7 to date.
Damn.
Kobe, Juan, and myself went 6. Kobe, Juan, and myself went 6-4. Juan is in the lead, 13-4. Oh man. Oh man, Kobe, you're at 12-5. Juan, you're at 13-4, and I am tied with Keon at 10-7. Points wise, 5 points for Keon, 6 for the rest of us. Juan, again, you're in the lead with 13 points. Kobe, you're right behind him with 12. Me and Keon tied with 10. So these are your standings so far.
And that's why I hate Baylor, because I'd be winning right now.
You would.
If Dave Aranda hadn't choked.
This is. I just want you to understand the addition of the lock and the upset with the points additions and reductions. It's going to come back and it's going to help somebody, or it's going to bite somebody in the ass. Just going to leave it there. It's just that simple. Seed Vision in the building. JOWG saying that coffee makes her happy. I'm glad. With your old senile ass sometimes. It's all good. Yeah. Anyways, guys, let's get to our picks. All right. First matchup of the week. Purdue Boilermakers taking on the Virginia Tech Hokies, guys. Purdue coming off of a loss to a subpar team and Virginia Tech winning. Here's what the predictions are. Everyone chooses Virginia Tech except Juan. Juan, you have Purdue. Explain why you chose Purdue in this matchup, sir.
I like their helmets. That's the only thing I could say. I don't even know. I don't even know why I picked.
That's a bold move, Cotton. Hope it pays off.
Watch, he be the one that gets right on this, and then we got to come back and be like, "What happened?"
This motherfucker here, man. He would.
Bro,
I'm telling you, it would. It happened last year.
Yeah,
it happened last year.
It did.
I just think that when it comes to Virginia Tech, right? They're playing in Blacksburg. Brent Pry, excuse me. I don't expect Virginia Tech to be world beaters by any means, but I think they're going to be significantly better than.
I don't need them to be world beaters. I need them to be Boilermaker beaters. That's all I need from them. That's it.
I picked them because the only thing I know is Beamer ball, so that's about it.
But no, in all seriousness, though, I think Virginia Tech handles it. That environment and the home game. Listen, it's Purdue. I mean, listen, they were the Big Ten West champions last year, if I'm not mistaken. Tell me how bad the Big Ten West was. But yeah, I just think VTech handles this. I think that place is with Pry. I think they're doing some things that they're mending some situations that Fuente just did not. He just burned shit, and I think Pry's on the fix. He's mending shit. But that's who we picked there. So there is that. So Juan, we'll see how your strategy pulls off. Can't say that it's right or wrong, but we shall see. Now this game this was interesting because I was expecting this to be more interesting, but after the week 1 situation, this shit has become completely different. Nebraska going to Colorado to take on Coach Prime, Shadur, and Travis Hunter, and them Colorado Buffaloes. I think I want to say there were some tickets, man, that were like, I think like the cheapest tickets are like $400-$600 somewhere in there. Some astronomical amount, especially for Colorado standards. Guys, that's fucking insane. Obviously we saw what he did, right? But here's our predictions for this matchup. Clean sweep. Brigade, Keon, myself, Kobe, and Juan all choose Colorado. And honestly,
and what's crazy about that for me is that's not even like necessarily how good Colorado looked versus TCU. It's how bad Nebraska looked versus Minnesota for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, they looked awful against Minnesota. So
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So I mean, they look really, really bad. So it'll take a miracle for Nebraska to go into Boulder and come out victorious.
Yeah. Moving on to the next one. Kobe, do you still have that hat, sir?
Threw it away already.
Good. Well, good. Utah, traveling to Baylor. This is going to tickle your fancy here. Everyone chooses Utah. We don't even know if Cam Rising is going to be playing. I would expect he might, but I'm not sure.
Don't matter.
I know Utah's better than Texas State. Right.
I know that Utah's better than Florida, so that's all I need to believe in this team against Baylor. That's
burn me once, Baylor, not again.
I won't doubt you anymore, Utah. I'm so sorry.
Juan, can we agree, even though Utah's trash, they win this game?
Yeah. Utah is absolute garbage. And anybody in Utah is absolute garbage.
Agreed.
Damn. Sister-wise, trash.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Let's wait for this comment to pop up in the chat. We know it's coming. Next matchup. Actually, pretty interesting one. I think this is going to be a fun matchup. We'll see how it plays out. Iowa taking on Iowa State in Ames. Again, I think this is a clean sweep here, though. And, everyone chooses Iowa. Would anyone, for what it's worth, be surprised if Iowa State wins? And if so,
hell
why?
Yes.
You'd be surprised. Okay. Why would is Iowa State just that trash too?
Well, no, Iowa. I feel like they're known for their trenches and honestly, just their defense. I think that they're going to run it. Iowa State has been awful for as long as I can honestly remember. Yeah, no, not a fan.
One. It seems JOWG says you chose Colorado because that's where you rendezvoused with Lewis and Clark. Is this accurate?
That is fair.
Did you introduce Apotheos to them or something?
I did.
You did? Look at you. God damn, you're fucking scholar and a saint.
Gotta promote our sponsors.
God, you're a scholar and a saint. Just want to let you know that if you haven't heard it today. Yeah, but Iowa, I think Iowa's just a better team. That's just what it's worth. Next matchup. I think this could be somewhat tricky to see how this plays out, but I still think this is too much. Notre Dame traveling to Raleigh to take on the NC State Wolfpack. Everyone chooses Notre Dame here. Is there any shot Notre Dame loses to NC State?
Nope.
Don't see it.
Nope.
Not if their head coach wants to enjoy his job much longer.
I just think Notre Dame actually looks like a legit team this season, for what it's worth.
Honestly.
For what it's worth, I think they look like a legit team. And
they have an 8-year senior at quarterback.
Hartman apparently looks like a GQ model. Apparently, like
he looks 45.
The other thing is NC State almost lost nobody last week too. I thought, didn't you have them? Wasn't that your upset pick, Rob? Was somebody upsetting NC State?
Yeah, UConn. I thought UConn was going to upset.
Like a 14-point game.
Well, they were on the road. Yeah, I mean they were on the road in Connecticut too. But yeah, I think it was like 2 scores or something like that.
On the road in Connecticut. Whoever heard of being scared to be on the road in Connecticut?
Another basketball powerhouse.
Juan, I need you to read this. So it says, I'm going to keep it classy over here and say UMS, say you motherfuckers, will give Utah and its residents the respect we deserve by end of season. Even the second-string quarterback was awesome.
You played Florida.
Hey,
relax.
Pause.
Yeah. Florida is the scum of the SEC. And you're happy that you beat the scum of the SEC.
So instead of team, please make this the state. I digress. Next matchup. I think this is going to be interesting here. All right. I think this one will be actually interesting, even though the predictions say otherwise. Ole Miss travels to Tulane, right? Tulane riding the momentum from beating USC in the bowl game last season. Carried over, obviously, both of these teams are 1-0. Everyone here chose Ole Miss. I just think the offense, right, the firepower from Ole Miss can handle Tulane. I don't know enough about the defense with Pete Golden there at Ole Miss yet to really feel confident and say that their defense is going to be significantly better. Is there any situation here where you'd be surprised if Tulane did beat Ole Miss?
If they beat Ole Miss, I'd be pissed. I got Kayshawn Junkins, and that means he would probably have to have a terrible game. So that kind of messed me up this week.
It would definitely have to be some turnovers.
It won't happen. We don't even have to worry about it. It won't happen.
I hope this gets clipped. But here we are.
Right.
I'd like to say Ole Miss wins this. I think it'll be a fun game to watch, though. I do think it'll be a fun game to watch, but I just think Ole Miss is just too strong. We'll see what happens, though. All right, getting into more entertaining matchups here, guys. Yes, bring it up for me. Oh, talk to me. Bam, guys. Let's talk about something though. A&M, Texas A&M versus Miami in Miami. Guys, did y'all hear? Miami is doing a BOGO. If you buy a ticket to the A&M game, you get a free Georgia Tech ticket. Did you hear about that? Did you hear about that?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Miami
As a BOGO.
Yes, if you buy a ticket to the A&M game this weekend, you get a free Georgia Tech ticket.
Are they raffling them shits? What the hell?
I don't know, but they're trying their hardest to sell that bitch out.
Georgia Tech's parents don't even want to go see Georgia Tech play, let alone anybody from Florida wanting to see Georgia Tech do anything.
Right.
Yeah, so I saw Brett McMurphy on Twitter. I saw that first there from him, and I just immediately kind of just chuckled out loud. I can't help myself. The fact that you have to do that much to try to get tickets sales with this kind of a game against a ranked team,
pretty bad.
Oh man, listen. I think Miami's going to be better this season than last season, but I just think that Texas A&M is just too much. What I saw in week 1, obviously just 1 week, small sample size, Connor Weigman and that offense had some firepower behind of it, and they look good. They really look good. I know it was an inferior opponent. They look, for what it's worth, they look good. And honestly, so did Miami for what it's worth too. I just think when it comes down to it, the depth of Texas A&M on both sides of the ball is just going to be too much. That's just my thoughts. I mean, what do y'all have to say?
I think honestly that if you look at it, Texas A&M easily has a top 5 roster in the conference. You can make that argument that it'd be top 5, top 10 in the country. I think Connor Weigman is going to be slinging it. I think I don't personally see Miami slowing down Texas A&M's wide receiving core. I think that's going to be one of their strengths, let alone with their defense. I think it's going to pair up. I think Texas A&M is going to win it convincingly. I'll give it 10 points, 10-point gap.
Juan, what do you think, sir?
Oh, I think it's going to be a blowout. I mean,
I tried to be nice.
Keon's being nice for giving him 10 points. I just think it's going to be
My question is, I guarantee you, there's going to be more A&M fans there than Miami fans,
and
it's going
100%.
And on national TV, how embarrassing would that be?
But just like Keon said, Connor's got something to prove.
Yeah,
he wants to go out there and make it happen. There's a lot of class of 2022 quarterbacks that are coming out there and playing, and he wants to be amongst those guys and be elite.
This year's quarterback class that's draft eligible is fucking loaded. It is insane.
Honestly,
it's insane. Next matchup, coming off of an 81-point outing, Oregon travels to Texas Tech, where they lost to Wyoming in double overtime. Going to Lubbock. I don't think there's a question here that everybody chose Oregon.
Quack, quack.
Short and simple. Let's go Ducks.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Dan Lanning and that offense and defense, for that matter, just continues to roll, if you will. Sorry, Texas Tech, but you better go 0-2, and it's not.
Yeah,
ain't shit you can do about it. I think Oregon going to steamroll Texas Tech at home.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
guys, this one's gonna be fun. I think, for what it's worth, this is the game of the week, arguably the game of the season so far, hype-wise. Texas Longhorns traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. This has got the markings of just a major implications for both teams, right? This will be your first true test for both teams. And with that being said, the Brigade, Keon, and myself choose Alabama. Kobe and Juan rocking them horns. Guys, why the Longhorns? And we'll see, and obviously we'll contrast with the Bama picks. Kobe, Juan, why did y'all choose the Longhorns?
I just think that I think the game was close last year. Obviously, it was kind of a messy game. I think that Sarkisian and them are really going to focus on taking away the first read from Milroe and also limiting his ability to run the ball, or trying to, I guess, at that point. I think if you get Milroe into some second and third reads, I think you really open up the ability for him to make some crucial mistakes. I think if you get after him, pressure the quarterback, keep good rush lanes, I think you're going to be able to fluster him a little early. And then I just think Quinn Ewers, I think if he stays healthy last year in that game, they probably win it anyways. I think with Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell, I think they're going to be able to go out and throw the ball around. I know that Alabama has a good bit of injury in the DB room right now. I think that's going to be a pretty big difference as well.
Juan, what about you, sir?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the first things that came across the ESPN ticker was the fact that they have a lot of injuries, in that secondary. And you're going up against, like you said, you talk about this upcoming class being, the draft being QB rich. I mean, you've got one of the top guys in Ewers. Milroe, to me, is just absolute garbage. I mean, he's just trash. He really is. And I just don't see him being successful against Texas. Sarkisian's going to be ready for him. I'm just not a Milroe fan. I just don't like him.
All right. Real quick, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to just cut in front of you, Rob, but as a person that lives here in this state, right? Let me tell everybody something. There's only 2 Texas teams that you should ever look for when it comes to big games, and that's the Astros and the Mavericks. Everybody else fucking sucks. Let me tell you. I'm just being honest, because I've been at Texas games and I've watched them fold in prime time, live and in person at DKR, my own 2 eyes.
You're not going to this game, are you, though?
Hell no. It's in Alabama.
Then we're fine. Then.
No, but either way, I'm trying to tell you. Look. Jalen Milroe is going to come out here and ball. Texas, their defense, they couldn't even win their own conference last year, let alone you think they're going to come and beat Bama? The team that actually won the conference last year got the shit smacked out of them by Bama. I don't think this is going to be one of those ones where it's going to be close, honestly. I think Bama beats them convincingly. They don't have anything prepared for Milroe and these audible runs that he's just gonna end up doing, not plays that they're carving up for him. They're not gonna have anything to do with it. Either way, Xavier Worthy drop issues. We know A.D. Mitchell's his history with drop issues. Quinn Ewers overhyped, overrated, he's just not him. And we're gonna come back after this game is played. And we're going to sit back and we're going to talk about it. And y'all are going to be like, wow, Texas really shit themselves. Keon, you were right. I'm telling you what's happening. I swear to you, that's exactly how this is going to go. Because Bama's going to go out there and beat them by at least 13. And we're going to come back to this and y'all going to be like, wow.
Hey, Juan, would Milroe start at Buford?
Y'all are too.
Not right now, he wouldn't.
Yeah, that's true. Not over Raiola.
Not over Raiola. Yeah.
Milroe is horrible. He's absolutely horrible. He's atrocious.
For what it's worth, I picked Bama. I picked Bama, and the reason why I picked Bama is because in big time matchups, Bama has that clutch gene, and again Texas hasn't. Until proven otherwise, you have to roll with Bama in this opinion, especially in Tuscaloosa, because we know just how hard it is to go into Tuscaloosa and come out with a victory. I think that matters. And I'm not a closet Bama fan. To hell what you say there. Chill out.
He's definitely an Auburn fan. Closet Auburn.
Get out of here with that. Where's your tattoo?
Where's your shirt? Where's your salmon shirt?
I noticed that shirt has been non-existent since the day he got it.
It's salmon.
Salmon it is. Tell what you say, Juan.
He donated that salmon shirt sitting in a Goodwill somewhere.
I still got it. I'll rock that thing around every once in a while. Get mad all you want. At least it don't have the A on it. But no, in all seriousness, I just think big time matchup, right? Prime time, big lights. I think the run game is going to be the X factor here. And if if that's the case, I do think Milroe can make enough throws, right? I don't think you have to. You're not going to be in the situation where you force him to throw and win the game that way. I just think Bama's run game can get going enough against Texas. I think they're better defensively than what they were last year along the line, but we'll see. I just got to go with Bama until they burn me. I've picked against them one time and I got burned, so I'm just going to leave that there. So I got Bama. Guys, last true pick 'em of the week, obviously Ball State. Yep. Ball State, Georgia. Guys, everybody picked Georgia. Quick predictions. What's the score prediction? Kobe, what's your prediction, sir? Do you have one?
About the same as it was this week. 48
okay,
48-7.
Okay.
Maybe you get another touchdown in. Maybe you go 56-7.
Okay.
But maybe not. I still think slow-paced, methodical football. I mean, may even be like 45, 48, somewhere around there.
Juan, do you have
field goals you feel like kicking?
Yeah. Juan, what about you? What do you have? Would you have a prediction?
I'm going to give them a Pat special. 63-3.
Keon, do you have a score prediction for this?
Whole lot to none at all.
I'm going to go, just for the hell of it, I'm going to go 48-3. I think 48-3 sounds fair to me.
63-3 will be a long bus ride home.
Oh, God, yeah, would it? Would it ever? Guys, locks of the week.
Wait a second. Oh, okay. We were talking about – okay, I just want to make sure we're talking about Ball State and Georgia.
Yeah, no doubt, yeah. I know we ain't talking Texas-Bama about that.
Yeah, I was like –
all right, here's Kobe and Juan. Y'all both picked Washington over Tulsa as your lock of the week. I picked Duke over Lafayette, and Keon chose Ohio State over Youngstown State. I think all these are fair picks for what it's worth. Just going to leave that there. Upset of the week. Here we go. Keon chose UCF over Boise State. Kobe, you chose ECU over Marshall. Juan, the hottest. Stanford over Southern Cal. My word.
I'm swinging big. I'm swinging for the fences.
Jesus, are you ever? I chose Arizona State over Oklahoma State in Tempe. I think Rashada is going to prove and stab a fork into the heart of Florida fans, pun intended. Yeah. Now, I need to hear this. Ashton looked really good against Hawaii, right? Do we think he continues the same thing? I don't see why not. It's USC's defense.
We'll see. Depending on how that line holds up,
that's true too.
I'd love a shootout. That'd be great.
Yeah, are you going to that game or no?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to all the games this year.
Oh man, traveling man.
Yeah.
Get them frequent flyer miles getting racked up.
Yes, sir.
Look at you.
That way next year it'll be right down the road, being in the ACC.
Yeah. Speaking of, you're going to be able to probably go to some nice North Carolina matchups. It's 85. Juan, you need to stop in Thomasville on the way up here one time. We'll get some lunch, man.
Yes, sir.
Got to do that. Guys, any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
Bama's gonna fuck them up, bro. I'm sorry.
Cut me off. Go ahead.
I mean, there's no other way else to say it, but Texas fans, they really about to smack fire out, y'all, and I really hope y'all are ready for that.
God, Keon, you caught me so off guard with that. Jesus Christ.
I'm a double down too, because I remember Keon's first week in NFL. Cowboys win too this weekend.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Cowboys beat the Giants. Giants start 0-1.
Y'all, this is a Georgia podcast, and I got Andrew Thomas and Azeez Ojulari who finna go crazy.
Oh God, I hope that we gonna have to. Yo, this gotta be clipped. I'm just gonna let y'all know. We gonna put this.
No, you got it.
We posting this shit before the game. Nah, fuck that. We posting.
No, you got to, bro. I'm sorry, because when I'm right, the show when we all come back here and acknowledge, wow, Keon, this shit wasn't fucking close. I need a public apology from both of y'all, because I'm telling you, I've seen this story so many times in my life with Texas teams. That's why I'll root for them. I'm telling you.
Here's your picture. There's your thumbnail
Yeah,
picture right there. Juan posted that up. Boom. Wait a minute, do it again. Oh man, rent free.
Yeah.
Sorry, we were.
Yeah, that's a 15-yard penalty when they come over here.
Hey, stop the cab.
Soft asses.
Schlong slap them or something, man. Come on now. Enough of that, guys. That's all we got for the night. It's time. Juan, you're busy, man. You heading out tomorrow or you heading out Friday?
No, Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. Okay, so it's a night game then. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, safe travel, sir.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
talk before
Appreciate
that.
Godspeed, Juan. Appreciate you being
No, most definitely.
Absolutely. Thank you for wearing the hat, Kobe. GOWG would be much appreciated. I think she fell asleep.
Yeah.
Probably Metamucil was going to kick in at some point. We'll see.
Absolute garbage. I mean,
Yeah, I hope she hears. She needs to hear that. Keon, if you ain't a Georgia fan, what they need to know.
Your team is trash, and you have to deal with that. Looking at you, Florida.
We'll see y'all next time.
All right. Go Dogs. Go Horns.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go
Go Horns.